into our top 5 games of week 3, because I think we're going to agree on most of these games this week.
So I have an honorary mention, even though we absolutely suck. I'm still gonna include Packers Browns in there for personal reasons, because I've been waiting for years to see the Packers in Cleveland. There's just something about the Packers that I'm like, it's Green Bay. They have all that history. Bart Starr, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Charles Woodson, Jordy Nelson, Donald Driver, Clay Matthews Jr., A.J. Hawk, B.J. Raji. I could go on and on. There's just something about the green and gold, that elongated G, Curly Lambeau, Vince Lombardi. For me, that's an honorary mention. It has to be. I've been waiting for years, and now it's finally happening this Sunday in Cleveland. It's one of those bucket list games for me to see the Packers in Cleveland. It really is. So, again, I know the Browns are 0-2, but just for personal reasons, it's an honorary mention. So, hopefully you guys understand that. But in terms of my actual games, I wanted to include Bengals-Vikings because of the Justin Jefferson-Jamar Chase matchup. But it's Carson Wentz against Jake Browning. No, thank you. So, number 5, I'm going to go to Foxborough, Gillette Stadium, battle of 1-1 teams. Pittsburgh Steelers, New England Patriots. I was very high on the Patriots at the start of this season. I said they would get 11 wins and make it into the playoffs. Little less high on Pittsburgh. And which version of the Steelers are we going to get? The version that we saw in week 1 against the Jets, where their offense was high flying and their defense did just enough? Or are we going to get the version we saw on Sunday against Seattle? And then for New England, they bounced back after losing that game against the Raiders by finally slaying their Miami Demons, and now they come home to take on Pittsburgh. It's a very intriguing matchup for me. So I have Steelers Patriots at number 5. Number 4, I actually got Jets. Well, I wanted to say Jets Buccaneers here, but again, because of Justin Fields probably not being available, I can't. Number 4, I'm actually going to go with a NFC West battle out in Santa Clara. Cardinals, 49ers. 2-0 teams. I want to see, when you go against an NFC West opponent on the road, can Kyler Murray get on the same page with Marvin Harrison? For me, that's what will make or break this season for Arizona. I get that Jonathan Gannon has come in and done a great job since becoming the Cardinals head coach. They really have improved, but we've been saying, this could be the year the Cardinals get into the playoffs. This could be the year. No, this could be the year. Arizona, it's time to do it. If you want to make a statement, go on the road to San Francisco. I know the 49ers are a little bit beat up right now, but still, you want to prove something? Go beat the 49ers in San Francisco. So that's number 4 for me. Number 3, I wanted to put Chiefs-Giants on there, but I'm actually going to go with Lions-Ravens, the Monday night game. I'm very interested to see this matchup. Detroit just put up 50 points against Chicago. Baltimore put up 41, although that's not very hard because they were playing the Browns, for God's sakes. This could be a potential Super Bowl 60 preview. We'll see, although I have the Packers beating the Ravens. But Jared Goff against Lamar Jackson, potential MVP battle, we'll see. But this game is very interesting to me. I love that it's on Monday Night Football. It's a really good matchup. Number 2, this one's going to surprise you, but I'm actually going to go to the AFC West, SoFi Stadium, Broncos, Chargers. Like you mentioned earlier, I had Denver winning this division, and that's because I really liked what I saw out of Bo Nix in his rookie year. I very high on that pairing of Bo Nix with Sean Payton. I feel like Bo Nix could be Sean Payton's next Drew Brees. And then on the other side, you got the Chargers. I did not think they were going to start the season 2-0. I really didn't. And could this be the same Jim Harbaugh effect we saw when he was at Michigan? And when he was with the 49ers? Because if you remember in that second year, I believe that's when he made it to the Super Bowl with the 49ers, right? Was that his? So I'm not saying the Chargers are for sure going to make it to the Super Bowl, but could we be seeing the start of the Jim Harbaugh effect again? And then number 1 for me, it's easy. I wish this game was either Sunday Night Football or at least in the 4:30 window because I so want to watch it. I think this should have been the opening game instead of the Cowboys, but it's Rams-Eagles. The Rams gave the Eagles their best game in the playoffs last year. I think these two teams are going to be fighting it out for playoff positioning, and this game could go a long way in determining what the NFC playoff picture looks like. So it's Matt Stafford against Jalen Hurts, Devontae Adams against Devontae Smith. How do the Eagles deal with the Rams defense? I really like Jared Verse and the rest of that Rams defense. So it's so fascinating. Like, the fact that this is a 1:00 game, what are we doing, NFL schedule makers? Why?
We agree on 3 games on the list. 2 of those games you have in the exact same order that I do. At number 5, this was a game that you do not have on your list. I am going to the AFC South, and I am going down to Jacksonville, where the 0-2 Houston Texans take on the 1-1 Jacksonville Jaguars, because to me, the Texans season's on the line. The Colts are going to Tennessee, and Cam Ward has made a couple magical plays, but he has not looked very great overall. That's a very winnable game for the Colts. If they start 3-0 and the Texans start 0-3 and the Texans lose to Jacksonville and they're 2-1, it's going to be an uh-oh moment for the Houston Texans. That team that everybody thought was a lock to win that division, all of a sudden
said it was a lock they were going to win the division.
Yes. All of a sudden, it's not that anymore. And Trevor Lawrence, for the first 2 games under Liam Cohen, has looked like the Trevor Lawrence we saw in year 2 under Doug Peterson. And we'll see.
Before you continue, I think you know what I'm going to ask you, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Did you think there was anything to that interaction where Liam Cohen is on the sidelines, like pounding his chest, and Trevor Lawrence
throw it in your chest? No, I think it's 2 competitors. I think that's an NFL player being like, bro, I got it. Relax. Liam Cohen is a very emotional guy. He's frustrated, saying, come on, just throw it in the chest. That's a closed door meeting. They're going to talk about it on film. I don't think there's anything to make of their relationship there.
Okay. By the way, all the Jaguars had to do was kick the freaking field goal instead, or maybe I'm thinking of Houston. I don't know. But Jacksonville should have won that game against Cincinnati.
Well, Todd Bowles let the Texans score, if you ask me, because you watched that rush on the Nick Chubb running touchdown. They didn't even try to go after him. Yeah. So I think Tampa played that right. Now, number 4.
I was talking about Jacksonville because I thought there was a moment where Jacksonville could have gone for the field goal, but they elected to go for it on 4th down, unless I'm mixing that up with a different game.
I'm not sure because I know Cincinnati got the ball back. The one thing that's really bothering me about this year Neither Fox or CBS has stats or scores on the bottom ticker. It's really annoying to keep up now with all these games. It's really hard to see who's got the ball situationally, stats wise. It's hard to catch everything now. Thanks, NFL.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
And like NFL Red Zone has commercials now. Thanks, NFL.
Well, and even Red Zone, at least it shows you the stats, but it's not showing you who has the ball and what situation and what their stats are constantly. One of the things I really liked about the old CBS scoreboard. But that's neither here nor there. Number 4, I agree with you. Broncos Chargers. If the Chargers win this game and they go to 3-0, I think the division is almost theirs, barring a historic collapse.
Which don't put it past them to do that, because this is the Chargers we're talking about. But think about this for a second. Sorry for jumping in again, but the Chargers have started their season with 3 straight divisional games.
Yes, and they could be 3-0, which is why I'm saying if that's the case, I think the division's a wrap.
Okay.
Number 3, I agree with you on the placement of this game, but I think I'm going to disappoint you with my analysis. I agree on paper. Lions-Ravens is a great game, but I think the game itself is going to end up being a dud. I think Baltimore is going to blow the doors off the Detroit Lions. And I say that for 2 reasons. Number 1, you know Lamar Jackson's history against NFC teams. It's very good. I believe the only team he's lost to in the NFC besides the Eagles is the New York Giants, actually. And if you remember a couple of years ago, when they had Ben Johnson, the Lions went into Baltimore. That was the year they went 8-9, I believe. The Lions went into Baltimore and got absolutely trounced. And Derrick Henry only had 23 yards rushing in week 2 against the Browns. He's not going to have 23 yards rushing against the Lions. He will absolutely feast on Sunday, I believe, or Monday, I believe.
Okay.
Number 2, game we talked about a little bit earlier because of how much is at stake for one certain franchise. You may think I'm crazy that I am super into this game, but it's the game being called by Tom Brady. The Dallas Cowboys and the Chicago Bears at 4:25 Eastern on Fox. I think this game has so many narratives going for it. You have Ben Johnson going up against the Cowboys. It's on record when Ben Johnson was the offensive coordinator of the Lions, how many trick plays he called against the Cowboys. You have Dak Prescott after one of his best starts in his career. Can he keep that up? You have the Cowboys defense. Are they going to be able to stop the Bears offensively, who have not played well the first 2 games? And as I already mentioned, this is make it or break it for Caleb Williams. Me and you both add them as the number 7 seed. We both add them at 10 wins. We both add them in the playoffs. I don't think there's a way they make the playoffs if they start 0-3. I think there is a way they can make it if they start 1-2. This is such a big game for both sides because for Dallas, if they start 2-1, we didn't even talk about this. Jane Daniels is reportedly out against the Raiders. Well, if the Raiders can upset Washington, all of a sudden Dallas could be, at least, if Philly loses to the Rams, Dallas could be tied for first by the end of week 3.
Yeah. The other honorary mention I would add is actually Falcons-Panthers, because the Falcons really surprised me in that game against Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota's offensive line completely dominated.
That's what I mean is Atlanta, invested heavily in their defense. And, I heard this comparison during the broadcast. And now that I've thought about it, I kind of agree with it. Why is Philly's defense so good? Because they're deep. They have a lot of great pass rushers. Atlanta is kind of doing the same thing with their defense. I'm not saying that the Falcons defense is going to turn into what Philadelphia has now, but I kind of do see a resemblance between what Atlanta is doing defensively and what Philly has now. Do you kind of see what I'm saying?
In a couple of years, maybe. Here's why I'm not putting this game on the list. I'm done with the Panthers. I tried to give Bryce Young a shot. I'm done. I can't anymore.
Well, the reason I'm playing the game more so on the list is because of Atlanta, but also because of what you just mentioned. I was very excited to see what I almost just said Bryce Miller, the player for the Charlotte Hornets. No, and his name's Brandon Miller. Who the heck is Bryce Miller?
Don't know.
I meant Bryce Young. Sorry, but they nearly beat the Chiefs. They nearly beat the Eagles. And we're like, okay, Bryce Young is finally having a breakthrough. And they go out and draft Ted McMillan out of Arizona to give him another weapon. I'm like, okay, Bryce Young is ready to take that next step. And he's gone back to what he was as a rookie. I'm like, what? I don't get this. So kind of what you said about Chicago, but I'm playing on Bryce Young. If the Panthers start this season 0-3, I could see the Panthers going, Bryce Young, we're done with you.
That's fair enough. And number one, no analysis needed. You're right. Rams, Eagles.
Yes. I'm so frustrated that the NFL or Fox, whoever, was like, oh, this is a rematch of the divisional round. It was one of the best games in the playoffs. Hey, let's put it at 1 o'clock. What? Why?